Welcome back, again, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Chamberlain, the Air Force guy, here at Winfield, Alabama. Actually, here in Winfield, Alabama, at the Tiffin plant. So stay tuned. We're going to show you a 2025 25RW Wayfarer by Tiffin. For any questions on this particular unit or any others, reach out to me. Contact information down below. So let's get started. Okay, and today I am so glad to introduce to you Chase Davis here from Tiffin, and he's going to go ahead and do the walk around with us. And Chase, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what Wayfarer we have here today.
So, well, introduce myself at your request. Chase Davis, Tiffin Motorhomes. As Paul mentioned earlier, I'm one of the sales reps for the Wayfarer and for our Midas products. Those are the two products we build here out of the Winfield, Alabama facility. And today, excuse me, we're looking at a Wayfarer 2025 25RW. So,
and what paint scheme is this one?
So this paint scheme right here, this is old school. This is I say old school. This is Gen 6 Coastal Blue.
Okay.
So if whether you're familiar with Tiffin Motorhomes or not, what we always do is we have Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 5, Gen 4, so on and so forth. All that means it's Gen short for generational, generation paint scheme. We'll typically offer 2 in a given model year, and then we have the paint selection, or the you know, the color choices, if you will. I'm probably fumbling my words on that, but bottom line is, so Coastal Blue is available in Gen 7 and Gen 6. The difference between Gen 6 and Gen 7, regardless of what your paint color selection is the masking, the lines.
So you have a Gen 7 back here.
Yeah, if you step right here, again, it's just how we take these things off. It's the scheme, if you will, of how the paint is laid out throughout.
So what color is this one here?
So that's Silver Sand Gen 7.
Okay.
That's here's a good shot. There's Coastal Blue in Gen 7.
Okay.
There's Coastal Blue in Gen 6, just so you can see right at the one we were about to walk around.
So there's Gen 7, folks.
Yep.
And then just kind of give you an idea of what the Gen 6 looks like.
So we had some folks here doing a plant tour, factory visit a few weeks back, and we were talking, and as I was explaining to them, same three colors, either one. We didn't add a special color or take anything away. 1, 2, 3, right there.
So now, but the difference is right now, are you able to get a Gen 6 or a Gen 7?
Yeah. We want options. For Tiffin customers are accustomed to options. They want options. They're expecting options. So
now what is this? What is this black one? Black and gray.
That's Sea Mist.
Sea Mist.
So that's Gen 7 Sea Mist paint. Your three paint options. Your three options for model year 2025. Excuse me again. Silver Sand, Sea Mist, and Coastal Blue. And again, all three of those will have 2 variants, Gen 7 or Gen 6. If I'm not doing a worse job than the brochure can do, if that makes any sense.
Well, I'm hoping that it helps for them to kind of get an idea.
Yeah. It's again, the colors of Coastal Blue don't change. The orientation of the paint on the exterior is what changes from Gen 6 to Gen 7.
So let's start on.
And just if you go to our website, there's a nice little interactive feature where you can just toggle back and forth through Gen 6 and Gen 7 and get, at least a virtual description of what that's going to look like in the flesh.
Perfect. Now these are 2025s.
Yes, sir.
But they're all currently they're on the 2023 chassis with the 4-cylinder.
Correct. So all 2025 model Wayfarers are going to have moved to the 2023 model year 4-cylinder Sprinter chassis. Yes, sir.
Twin turbo.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
So let's go through and show them what you have to offer on the outside.
So on the outside, I think again, you're doing a video on the plant tour, right? You're going to have that on.
That'll be coming up as well.
Yeah, as well. So, but just in association with that, I only bring up that point too. You saw our paint booths. You saw that process is on site. I think that's a feature. I think our exterior paint schemes, I think that because we control that process in-house, it allows us to diversify. I think it allows us to have options. I think it allows us to control our process. Perfection, as unattainable as it is, you saw in there that we're spot checking these and we're able to bring them through, you know, the repair booth or the touch-up booth. So exterior paint, it's the first thing I see. You saw it walking all the way down the hill to the campground. This is me personally. I'm speaking for what I notice on the coach that I think makes it stand out against the others. And I think our paint scheme and the fact that we do that ourselves here in Winfield, Alabama, I think that's a benefit to our end product, to the end result of it, and to the customers potentially looking to own one of these.
Well, one thing that I failed to mention about the paint booth, and I'd like you to elaborate on it, is how many different coats are we talking about on here, and how much paint overall are you putting on this coach?
Every time you see a color, that's 3 coats. So 3, 6, 9 right there, and then you finish off with 2 coats of clear coat on top of these.
Perfect. Okay.
Yep.
And that equals about a gallon of paint per coach?
That I'm not sure about.
Okay.
A gallon of paint per coach. I would have to believe it'd be more than that.
So it's a gallon of color?
Again, I don't know, but
okay.
I can't believe with 1 gallon of paint we could get this entire, I don't know if we could get this entire sidewall done.
Okay.
Not an artist or a detail and exterior extraordinaire, but we can ask. It's certainly, if somebody, if any of your followers or anybody watching the video is interested in it, it's as simple as...
I'll make sure I update that in the video. How's that sound?
Yeah, fair enough. Another feature, moving back from here, now this is an option, but we rarely send a coach out without this on there. So that's a side view camera.
Okay.
I'm sure this is available on other coaches. We know it's available on other coaches. What's unique about the Wayfarer is the feed for that is actually your same chassis display screen. So you don't have to have a secondary monitor for your blinker cameras. Now again, they're going to engage left blinker, it's going to show you that side, right blinker is going to show you that side. But again, just a nice feature. So we're actually able to tie into the chassis here, to the chassis wires, utilize that screen as opposed to a secondary monitor.
Option.
And again, it's an option, but
okay.
I know I haven't sent one to a dealership in the territory I represent since I've been at Wayfarer. Fiberglass. Everybody's got it on their RV, or most everybody's got it on their RV. What stands out about ours is that we utilize 1-piece molded fiberglass front cap, 1-piece molded fiberglass end cap, and then to top it off, pun intended, that's a 1-piece molded fiberglass roof. So our thought process, our reasoning behind that approach is typically, and not saying good or bad, typically you're going to have seams. You'll put this front cap together in different sections. Maybe you've got a top section that goes right there. Maybe it goes right there. It could be as many as 3 pieces you're looking at. And then this column, if you will, is typically its own piece. Well, that means you're going to have a seam running right there where you're connecting that front cap to this. A seam means a potential intrusion. A seam means screws. A seam means glue. And we eliminate that by doing this in one molded piece. Keeping water out of an RV, as someone who lives in one would know, is an impossible feat. But as many links and as many, to whatever extent, as much extent as we can go to try to prevent that from being an issue on your RV investment is something we want to do. A 1-piece molded cap is going to be heavier. It is going to bring a little bit more cost to it. But anytime we're looking at any Tiffin product, we're happy to show you where we're investing our manufacturing dollars and how that's represented in the price of the coach itself. Moving along, again, a feature that we, you know, always look at, or I'm always keen to point out, is our baggage doors. So first off, we like doors that open east to west. These are shorter coaches, you know, north-south or something, a hinge right here with it hanging above your head, requiring either a magnet or some type of mechanism to hold it. You know, we're not big fans of, so left to right, east to west opening, however you want to, you know, describe that. Aircraft aluminum baggage doors is what you'll read on a brochure. What that means is these are made in-house. These are sturdy. This is aircraft aluminum. I'm sorry, aluminum, and I'm basically just repeating what I said, what you'd read in the brochure. But these are steady, heavy-duty, nice-looking doors. I think there's something to be said for a baggage door being nice-looking. And this seal right here, again, if you on a rainy day, which it rained earlier, and this one's clearly dried up, but on a rainy day, I don't mind one bit that I see this seal, a little bit of residue from that seal right there, because on a rainy day, and I actually had one of our national sales managers at Tiffin show me this, how you'll see the moisture on the outside of where that ring will be, and how well, you know, a baggage door done right will be sealed up with no moisture on the inside.
That way you're not getting the water into your
that's correct.
Storage compartments.
Yeah, another thing, so a running theme with our Tiffin Wayfarer product, probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, is we come from a company who, this product comes from a company who's been building Class A motor homes for 50+ years now. So it makes sense, and we'd be crazy to not implement things we've learned about those Class A products over the years onto all of our products, all of our segments. Obviously, it's a different chassis, a different length, different dimensions, different things, different options that may be, but as much of that Tiffin motorhome DNA from, say, a Phaeton or from a bus or from an open road that we can pump into a Wayfarer. So I say all that to say, this is the same baggage door you get on a bus. Yes, it's different dimensions. Yes, there are going to be fewer of them. But yeah, this is the same construction, same locking mechanisms, and same insulation and finish you're going to get on a 45-foot diesel pusher on the 25-foot Wayfarer. Optional, but still a very commonly chosen thing. Whoop.
It's locked.
Oh yeah, it's locked right here. Sorry.
That's just an outside TV.
Yeah, well.
Do you have a sound bar in there?
Yes. Girard legless awning that's got speakers at the end of both. The Bluetooth you tie ins right there in on your step up. There's an LED light strip in there that does have a wind sensor in it, Paul.
Okay.
Again, that's I'm not saying we're the only ones doing that. I'm just saying Girard awnings are, you know, what we use exclusively on all Tiffin products. No different on our Wayfarer. This coach right here has got a, so when it comes to your hot water system, you're gonna have two options. Those two options are gonna be what you've got on this coach is the 𝚪𝚎 AquaGo aqua system. That's your hot water heater. That means this coach is also going to utilize a gas cooktop element in your kitchen area. The other option is going to be hydronic heating by AquaHot. If you're familiar with that appliance in like the bigger diesels, the bigger Class A product, they now have a smaller application for coaches of this size. And again, that's your other, the standard will be the 𝚪𝚎. The option is actually the AquaHot, but that is a
that's another option
in regard to.
But right now, this one has a Suburban furnace.
Yes, it'll have to have a Suburban furnace because the hydronic heating is a 2-in-1. It's your hot water heater and your house furnace. When you go 𝚪𝚎, to each their own. Yes, if you go 𝚪𝚎 AquaGo hot water system, then yeah, you're going to have a Suburban furnace, a regular RV furnace.
Now you're saying something that I always pick on people for. You're saying this is a hot water heater. What heats the cool water?
Huh?
What heats the cold water if this is a hot water heater?
You know what? Someone else busted me on that years back, and that's a good catch. It's a water heater.
Thank
Paul.
you.
Yeah, it's a water heater. Yeah. No, you're
just
right.
want to make
You're
sure.
right.
I don't want to confuse people.
No, in all fairness, and again, we're sales guys, or they let us in on the engineering meetings. So, and I'm sure they say it that way as well. Again, just our just our rear one-piece molded fiberglass cap. Again, just here is your water board plumbing station.
I can see it makes it very easy. So you have an outside shower in here. You got a water pump switch, black tank rinse, water filter, your water pump, and of course your sewer connection.
Correct.
And then it has your winterization tube in the event that you need to winterize.
Yeah, I'll open all these just so you can see what you're working with.
And I see you have also right there, you have a place where you can store your sewer hose right there, and then you have to set your caps and so forth inside there. Yep. And then of course we're coming over here for storage.
There's your central vacuum, so that's where you change out the bags for your central vacuum. There's your surge guard. Next door, if we go next door, there's your 4.
Now explain flex power to us for your generator.
Well, that's an LP generator, and while it's a flex power option from said manufacturer, it doesn't leave Winfield, Alabama from us capable of operating on any other power source other than LP.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Okay.
That's a new generator to the Wayfarer product. Excuse me. We about towards the end of 2024 model year, we switched to the 4,000 kilowatt LP generator.
Beautiful. Now I notice you also have the slide topper on. Is that an option or is that standard feature?
We're going to do it every time. We're going to do it every time. Yeah, you don't have to click that option or hit that. Any driver side slide, which is where they're all going to be, is going to have a slide topper. One more thing I didn't show you, and it was something that we talked about when we were walking. A couple more things actually. We were kind of talking about it because you were looking at the valve stems inside at the tires. So you will be able to access both the interior rear wheel, obviously, as well as, you know, the exterior, the exposed wheel. But you're going to be able to access both those valve stems for either tire without having to snake your hands through anything or doing having busted up knuckles. Another thing that you saw that, you know, it's kind of difficult to get a camera, is even a GoPro in and show, is that all Wayfarers are going to have the Mercedes-Benz factory suspension system suspension kit removed in our chassis shop, and then we're going to change those out with Sumo Spring Standard. Basically just a suspension kit upgrade system that a lot of customers in the Class C space, Sprinter chassis, Transit chassis, whatever, are going to do themselves if their coach doesn't already have it or have an option to have it on there from the factory. That's something we're going to do standard on every coach.
Perfect.
That leaves one kit. So, if you've got any questions on the outside,
nope. I think let's go ahead. I'm sure they're interested in taking a look at what the interior looks like. Yeah. So let's get inside here.
Yeah.
And so I'm just kind of giving a brief preview of here. So let me have you go ahead and kind of give a brief overview of inside. So let's talk as you come in the door. This is where your panel's going to be, and of course your different panels you have here.
Yeah. Move in.
All right, so now what you have here, you're saying that's your auto level?
That is your auto level controls, yes sir.
Then of course you have your step switch.
Yep.
But in order for that stuff to work first, you're gonna have to turn on your battery disconnect, which is down in the wheel well. Nice thing with that, it makes it easier for them to get to when they're standing outside.
Yes sir. Yep.
I like the way you've done your door here because you got to lift up on the handle in order to open it. So if you fell on the handle, you're not going to accidentally open that door.
Yep.
Next thing you have over here
This is your Spider multiplex control panel right here. This is your main, your primary control panel. So this will be color LED backlit right here. We'll just kind of cycle through the options. So on the home screen, you've got access to some of the more commonly used lights, tank heater, water pump. Right here are your holding tanks right here. Here's your LP tank. Here's your battery voltage. Again, you can read that. I'm just going through what I see. Once you go to the lights page, again, this is everything right here. And anytime you see, if anyone's familiar with Tiffin products or with Spider Multiplex or for this control panel, anytime you see arrows on any one light or another, so I'll just click that. So you hold down and then you'll cycle through your dimmer. Easy.
Okay.
Easy right there. You go back, any of those are done. You got a master off, so everything can go on.
Well, I noticed the master does not take care of the awning, the porch, and the cargo.
That's true. Yeah, this is all interior lights. Right. Yes, sir. Yep. But this also has a memory. Unless the coach is disconnected, unless you do that battery disconnect, and then it'll start over. A couple of other things, your one slide, ignition on, park brake on. This is telling you, go through your checklist before you try to engage that mechanism and get this slide out.
Well, back to that slide out mechanism, I think one thing people need to realize with the Swintech slide system, number one, I tell them you either have the of course, you're going to have the ignition on in this one.
Yep.
But I would highly recommend that you either have the generator running if your batteries were not full, or be plugged into power, because the Swintech slide system has a motor on each end. Okay. So that's number one. You need to make sure you have enough power. But number two is hold these buttons. I always tell my customers for up to 10 seconds after they're all the way in or all the way out. And trust me, folks, you'll be much happier if you do, though. You will hear the motors synchronize when it's all the way out or all the way in, and by doing such, you will have less issues with that Swintech slide system.
Agreed.
Sorry about that. Next thing
good,
you're going to go.
Nice pro tip right there. Front fan, bath fan. In your settings, here's where you go. Your coach model. We're going to click on a couple of things. All of our Wayfarers are mobile app compatible, so there will be an app on your phone, Samsung, Apple. You can do it on a tablet. Again, the same things you have control over here, with the exception of the slide out. You'll have control via that app. But screen settings, again, you can set this to stay on all the time, lock out, have a sleep mode. System update, if there is one, it's all good to go. It's like a settings update or a software update, similar to your smartphone. Diagnostics,
and I would tell you away from the diagnostics. Let the techs get into that diagnostics.
Couldn't agree more. I don't mess with it myself personally, but I'm just to mention. Here's your in-house audio system. Remember I mentioned the two speakers that are attached to that Girard awning. You can plug in through Bluetooth right there, feed that through the coach, feed that through the outside. There's your awning controls right there. Outlets, as we work back this way. So a couple of things to make sure everybody knows what they're looking at. You're looking at our linen cabinetry. We have three options. Linen cabinetry that you're looking at now. We have sandstone cabinetry and then shadow cabinetry. I'd recommend to anybody not looking at it other than the linen on this to go to our website. You can kind of toggle through those options to see what the different cabinetry finish is.
So that's a cabinetry. What fabric do you have in this one?
So this is Snow Hill sand interior fabric, furniture finish. Excuse me. That's if you're looking in our brochure or looking on our website, we got two options for furniture, two options for interior decor. The simple way I explain it is we have a light option and a dark option. and there will be a furniture fabric finish or an upholstery finish that complements the light decor, and a slightly darker furniture. It's not really dark, it's really just a different color of tan, but again, it complements said decor packages. Excuse me. Now again, if you're ordering one of these, mix and match. I'm not saying that 2 options each are vast, but there's nothing against ordering different furniture for different decor, but if you go to our website, those decor packages will be broken down. We use solid surface countertops in our coaches. Convection microwave right here. Again, this one's got the gas cooktop, so that's going to be the standard. If you go to the hydronic heating element, the AquaHot system, this is going to make an induction cooktop where this element would be.
Can lift up on that.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I locked it.
Yeah. So now listen, back to the furniture, because I know a lot of people ask this question of me. Is this furniture, like the issues we had in the past, are we going to have problems with it flaking and so forth?
You shouldn't. I'm not going to say, you know, anything near perfection's been achieved. Franklin furniture is what we used exclusively on the Van Lee fifth wheels. I don't know how long they've been utilizing or using them, excuse me, in Wayfarer, but I know Franklin Furniture has been running through a lot of Tiffin products for several years now. The purpose of this technical leather, this ultra leather, this manufactured leather, whatever your description of it is, one of the benefits is supposed to be that it's not flaking, Paul. One of the benefits is supposed to be that it's not hot. If it's super hot in here, cold during the winter, that you don't feel it sticking to you. But again, if you just feel this material and feel, because we've used that furniture before as well, so we're not unfamiliar with the issue you're describing. But yeah, I'm sure this can fade. I'm sure from wear and tear you could have some discoloration, but I don't know if flaking on this material. If you get a chance to put your hands on it, I don't really think that's going to be an issue.
So now, is this a manual?
No.
Of course, you don't have the the generator on.
I don't have the generator or short.
So you do it. It's electric.
Here, it's electric. You'll have a little storage compartment in here, right here, right there, just for something or another.
And I see you have attachments for tables on the sides.
Yeah, the lagoon tables.
Lagoon tables.
So there's your landing right there. Typically, and it just depends on the model. But the platform that you slide into, as well as the 2 arms and the tabletop, they'll be stored most likely. Okay, they're not in there, so they're probably in one of the outside bays because they're not up top. Anyway, yes, you can move those tables here. Here, you've got several different landing pads, and then of course you will have a single leg tabletop table, if you will, that'll also come with your coach. Obviously, you can rotate your chassis chairs 180 degrees.
Now, when you rotate those chairs, the front driver and passenger seat, do you have the booster seat? Because I know we got a drop down there. So do we have the booster seat to give them a little bit?
Yes, yeah. There's also somewhere stored in the coach, you'll have that cushion booster seat for anybody that needs a little bit more height out of that. Perfect. But yes, because the change from the house floor from the chassis. We mentioned the Spider multiplex wiring. You're also going to have controls elsewhere throughout the coach, so that if you're here already in bed, you've got your Murphy bed down and you're ready to go. You can utilize that. Couple things to touch on the outside. You may, I'm sure everybody has seen a Murphy bed, but it never hurts to show you what this one's going to look like, or what someone can expect. So this will lock into place. Just right down. So you've got that cushion extending all the way to the wall, so someone can utilize, if a taller person needs to utilize as much of this space from the wall to the end of this bed, they can.
Now I noticed that you don't have the curtain that comes all the way across the bottom of the bed, but you do have a curtain there. You just
yeah. Privacy curtain. We'll always hide it in this little handmade wooden cabinet right there. That's what someone can expect. I won't run it all the way out, but
yeah, I know. I couldn't hear you when you had that. That must be a soundproof curtain. I couldn't hear you talking on the other side of it. But I like the way that that's going, because most others that I have seen in the past came all the way down across the front of the bed here.
Oh, so so running a rail through, yeah.
So the benefit there is if you're in the shower, which is in here in the bathroom,
yep,
you're able to step out, have your clothes laying here, and at least you've got some separation. You got a little bit of room to get yourself.
Yeah, it's all about dressed. Just trying to. It's just all trying to, you know, look. It's a 26.5-foot coach, so
right.
you can't hide that. But one thing you can do is try to offer a way to break up different segments, you know, different areas, make it feel more like you have a true seating entertainment area, kitchen area, sleeping area. So I'll bring that up right there. And then again, this little lock right here, all you gotta do. Safety. I'll get those cushions in a minute. If you'll step out, a couple of things to touch on. Porcelain toilet.
Okay.
Stepping back. One of the things
I like how you have that like most others, you have to step into it. Has like a 4-inch lift.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you're stepping into it.
Yep.
So that makes it, for the taller people, gives you a little bit different, more headroom there, right?
2 things to touch on, 3 things to touch on in this area right here is, to your point, Paul, this is recessed in the floor. We want this to be a smooth transition from the house floor to this shower. The other thing, you know, if we can kind of play off something we talked about outside, 1-piece molded fiberglass front caps. We're a big fan of that. We're also big fans of 1-piece molded showers. Again, same principle. The fewer seams and the fewer screws and glue we have to run, where water is definitely going to be in this shower, we're a big fan of. So this 1-piece molded fiberglass shower, again, there is not a seam. This is not a shower pan. You know, to each their own. There's no perfect answer, but these are panels on the wall that have had to been finished out with silicone. You know, 1, 2, 3, and then a pan beneath. Again, this is what we like. This is what we believe will hold up. This is our attempt at keeping as much water that you're already going to have in here from seeping out into the walls, into the subfloor of the coach. Another feature is the shower miser. We talked about it. Excuse me and you pointed it out. We were discussing it inside for the plant, for the factory tour. Very common on Class A motorhomes. It's a standard on all Wayfarers. These are smaller coaches, as we continue to mention, smaller tank capacities. You're dry camping. You don't want to spend the first half gallon or gallon, whatever it may be, running your water to wait till it gets hot. So there's a bypass right here on the shower miser. You'll turn it and you're running your water. It's recirculating. It's waiting to tell you when you're good to go on hot water. When that lights up, turn the bypass back, and you don't waste any water trying to get to that comfortable water temperature that you want to take your shower at.
Perfect. Let me go back over here and show this. Of course, you have the window, and then take a look at the storage that you have. Of course, not much here, but notice the water shutoffs. A little bit there, down below there, some toilet paper, and then, of course, up top. And the power vent fan in here.
Yep.
As well as power vent fan out in the main area. And benefit there is to be drawing air through.
Yes, and you saw when we cycled through. Nice thing is those are controlled via the Spider-Man control screen.
All right. Okay, so now one thing I like to see, I like the fact that you're using the Coleman Mach AC.
Yes, sir.
Because that's what I have in mind. I actually love it. I'm actually, and I kind of have the same thing, but I'm a little bit wider than you. But you know, your theater seats are here, the TV is right there, and the AC is right there. So I can tell you're not going to hear that running at even a high fan.
Yeah, truly ducted AC system, Coleman Mach A, 15K BTU, heat pump, standard. It is the low profile. That's all we use on any Wayfarer. You mentioned in here televisions. You mentioned the television. So if you that's an option. This is standard, but again, most people go ahead and order with both televisions. Because you can segregate this area right here, and someone can hang out there and someone can hang out here. But that's going to be your standard bedroom television. Here's going to be your optional television right here. Whether you do this TV or not, one thing you'll want to show folks is you do have access to those hookups, connections. Here's extra storage. There are those are little paint samples and paint codes. As importantly, here's your Tiffin Wayfarer owner's bag. Something else, Paul, I should have done this earlier, but your control switch. Now, depending on the model, you have this control board, control panel is going to be somewhere throughout the coach. For an RW, here it is. Here's your generator control. Here's your that's your inverter. Here's your Go Power solar panels, your trim. Anytime you see you know, something not utilized or finished out, you see the screws, you can remove that and put the control for say a Starlink satellite system. That's an option you can have on your Wayfarer. If you did that, the control panel for that would just be, you know, the wiring would be connected. So just something we wanted to touch on right there.
See, it has a sound bar above there for this TV?
Yes, sir, that's correct, sir. Storage, close.
See, you have a light in there?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So it's its own light?
Yep.
So now I'm taking it, you have a little pillow for the sofa, but then or for your bed.
Yep.
And then what's behind that? Is that the things for the front windshield, right?
Correct, sir. Yep.
Okay, so the sun curtains?
Yes, sir.
Now, I noticed this one has an RV fridge.
Yeah, so that's an option. Not very common, especially not today. But regardless, we're never gonna keep someone, again, just no different from exterior paint schemes, interior decors, furniture, whatever it may be. You know, some folks still want a gas electric RV refrigerator. Simple,
versus a 12 volt, okay?
Versus a 12 volt standard, simple as checking a box on a build sheet to bring that, to have that coach outfitted as such.
Certainly. Now, this sofa, is there storage under it?
There's, well, we're going to pull it up and show you. You were asking about those. You're asking about those booster seats as well as the lagoon tables.
So that's where the lagoon table is.
So here's all your hardware for your table.
Right.
Right there. I mean,
so you have two. So you have two tables for the lagoon.
Two tables for the lagoons. Each of the cardboard boxes is a leg or a support leg. If you see right here,
that's the round one.
Right, yep.
That's the one for up front there.
And then there's one of your.
And you see, that's a big. That's not a round. It's actually oval.
It is.
So it's a big table.
Yep.
So that's where you can store that.
Yep.
Up out of the way. Beautiful. Good to know.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you, now that we've looked at the back part, let's talk a little bit about, because I'm sure there's not much difference in the Mercedes side. But let's just talk about a couple of things up in the Mercedes part.
Okay.
So before we get up front, I see you have a little bed here. Now, is this bed an option?
No, standard.
Standard. So how much weight can that hold?
You want to find out? I'm just kidding. No, 300 pounds.
Okay.
I wouldn't exceed 300.
Okay, perfect. So, but now the nice thing, I like what you guys have with that nice little ladder.
Yep.
Make it easy for people to get up in there.
Hooks
Comes
in,
off very easily.
Hooks out, super light. I mean, there's not much to it.
And then to, yeah,
Go ahead.
then you go in there. So
Yep.
it just gets up out of the way there.
Yep.
Just want to shut those lights off, right? Just keep the heat off, right? But yeah, they're up out of the way here. So let's talk a little bit about up in the front here. You know, you were talking about your side cameras and everything. Hop in the driver's seat and show me how these side cameras things work.
Yeah, so look, let me kill a little bit of that fan. So again, yeah, so what I was talking about, one of the main differences there, I actually want to, this is way off.
That's right.
Anyway, yeah, when I go to engage this right here, there's the, well, here, let's do it on the other side. So
well, you can see that's,
have a slide.
we have the slide out, but then, yeah, to see both of them.
Yeah.
And then, so now for the seeing behind you,
okay,
then you have to go ahead, and that's going to be when you put it in reverse.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yep.
And there, that's what it looks like looking behind you there. But you can go ahead and push the different. So you have that's ultra wide,
yep,
regular wide,
yep,
and then closer. So in case you were towing something back there.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'll go back and, oh.
So this has navigation, radio, media.
Yeah, this is, so premium chassis, Mercedes-Benz is going to offer, much like any auto manufacturer, they're going to offer a couple of different trim packages, if you will, in the Sprinter chassis. The only chassis we're going to use is their premium chassis with 0 deviations, meaning it comes with the full boat. You're going to have navigation, you're going to have My Mercedes, so if you have people are familiar with Siri, you know, on an iPhone. Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Give me directions to Red Bay, Alabama. She may not be able to
Route
pull it.
guidance to Red Bay, Alabama is starting.
So
there we go.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
Yeah. Again, that's going to be one thing I remind people, and I would say this of almost all Sprinter chassis, if not all of them, is I don't know what these chassis looked like 10 years ago, but more and more over, these are becoming more like daily drivers. These have got, you know, collision mitigation sensors in here. They've got all the safety features, you know, everything you've got access to that you can toggle through right here on your steering wheel. This looks similar to, if not exactly the same as, some of your daily drivers from Mercedes-Benz. It's got a lot of the same features that your newer vehicles have across the board. Got all your controls, your backrest, so on and so forth. This screen right here, this is a commercial chassis that has a very daily driver feel to it. So
perfect.
That's one of the ways I look at it.
Well, there we go. Well, you know, I want to thank you for taking the time to visit with us and show us through this. And folks, I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be back at you again soon. Stay tuned. Any questions, comments, put them down below, and I'll be back at you soon. Take care.